I hit J. Cole up. I said, yo, the tour's coming through. How would you feel about doing the interview while you're out here? Because we had talked about it before, and he had basically said that he was kind of down, you know? And like I asked him and didn't get a response for like 4 days or 5 days, and I'm in Hawaii, and he just calls me. And he actually like is the rare, you know how rappers are. If they don't want to do the interview, they just ignore you, right?
Of course.
9 times out of 10. Maybe if you're homies with them, they'll give you a little explanation, whatever. He actually called me and talked to me for 10 minutes about how life was going, and also was just like, you know, like I think he just really values his privacy at this point, which I totally get, because when you're on that level of stardom, you know, it's just everything is different, you know. And we actually just had like a real conversation about that, and he was just kind of like, you know, I'm not saying I'm never gonna do it, and I really respect everything you guys got going on, but I just don't really feel like right now is the time. You know, I'm not saying I'm never gonna do it. Like I just have never got that level of like graciousness.
Right.
Like that is
like a
so
nice,
rare.
gracious.
Something like 90% of the reason rappers fail is because they don't know how to cultivate relationships. They don't cultivate relationships in the industry. They don't cultivate relationships online if they're trying to get a social media buzz. And they don't cultivate relationships with their street team if they're trying to do the independent route. And yet, here we have one of the most culturally and critically acclaimed rappers, J. Cole, who is more known as an introvert who does his own thing and is in fact more likely to be seen riding on his bike alone down a street in New York City than at an industry function hobnobbing with record promoters and such. And yet even J. Cole cultivates relationships when it comes to playing the music game. Now what you may not know is that J. Cole and Adam 22's connection and cultivated relationship started almost a half decade before the call happened that Adam described in this clip. They were already super cool and tight before Cole or Adam even had to pick up a phone. Let's run back the timeline and see what we can learn from the cultivated connection between one of the biggest rappers in the game and one of the most well-known hip-hop media personalities of our generation. The first time J. Cole and Adam 22 interacted was almost 5 years ago on January 25th, 2018, when Cole pulled up on the No Jumper bike and clothing store on Melrose Avenue in LA. While simply showing up at the store and being seen on the vlog is nothing new, as many rappers would pull up on the store, what's wild for both participants is rather than talk about clothes, music, or bikes, they had what we at How to Rap would call a three-dimensional interaction, where they talked about religion and the Big Bang Theory, talking about the scientific idea, not the TV show.
People become more secular, but then they end up like kind of left with like a void of like, or especially like with every like culture has had rituals in terms of like how to get deeper into thought, you know? And that's just like an overarching theme. And like just hearing him talk about how like there is a way for people who don't believe in a literal God to fucking embrace that and like get something out of it too is like very eye-opening to me.
So my thing is like, as an atheist, does your non-belief in God come from a turn off that religion? Like religion turns you off? Or did it come from like years of thinking like that doesn't make sense to me? Like,
so look, just think about the people in your life, even people you only know a little bit or maybe just met once or twice, and y'all talked about religion and science and big ideas, rather than just how to get to the money or what you're wearing, what your fit looks like. By now, everybody knows this expression. Your net worth is determined by your network. But so many rappers think that just means you meet as many people as possible, message them occasionally on some surface level stuff, and then when you need something, you hit them up. Absolutely not. The best hack is to actively cultivate relationships the way J. Cole or even Adam 22, because like peep game, Adam 22 is socially savvy enough to know that with a rapper like J. Cole, who's more lyrical and likes to think about deep conscious stuff, it's much better for a media personality like Adam to talk with him about deep stuff rather than some of the more surface level or street conversations he has with many rappers on No Jumper. So the best hack is to have a three-dimensional interaction if you're a media personality like Adam with an artist like J. Cole. On the real, everybody wants to be a gangster until it's time to do some gangster shit. And everybody wants to have the critical and commercial success of J. Cole until it's time to do some J. Cole stuff. And everybody wants the social media clout and influencer level of Adam 22 until it's time to actually be that socially savvy. So at the end of the day, when all of these years have passed and that connection has been cultivated, when J. Cole really doesn't want to do an interview or he got other stuff going on, he can just hit up Adam directly openly and say, look, brother, I ain't doing this right now, my brother, but we good. And Adam is totally gonna take it in stride. I mean, even further, J. Cole is honestly brilliant for doing it in the way that he did, where he had a low-cost way of building the connection with the media personality by just pulling up to the store, rather than having to go through the pressure of an interview or basically not being able to control the flow of the interaction in a public way. So on J. Cole's part, this was really a matter of playing chess and not checkers. And the beautiful thing is, J. Cole didn't have to act fake tough or Hollywood in order to do it. So artists, take notes from what you've just seen from Adam 22 and J. Cole. And if you're a rapper yourself, be sure to check out the first link in the video description for our 6-week artist development course here at How to Rap. I've been your host, the big homie Drew for How to Rap, and I'll see you on the next one.